This is Tom Hood with this month's Lookout Post and the things CPAs in Maryland need to know right now. Three things. New year, plan ahead. Number two, it's tax season. Taxes, taxes, and more taxes. And number three, it's time for legislation and the 436th session in Maryland. All right, first up on the agenda is New Year, time to plan. So this is a good time to look back and look ahead. Right now, we're starting to see significant changes in the stock market, presidential election coming up in this year, interest rate changes. It's time to start anticipating the future. We've got resources to help you do that with our anticipatory organization and strategic planning. So look to us at blionline.org for help there. Number two, it's tax season. Lots of CPAs in public accounting will be busy during this, quote, busy season. And lots of folks, even in business industry and government, will be preparing tax returns and closing up their year ends. So the key point here is all the tax changes we've been covering, you should already be prepared for them, but tax extenders, de minimis on the 3115, watch the win refund developments. If you need help there, go to our website, log on to our groups, MACPA Groups, and look for the Fed and state tax listservs. It's like having the world's best tax minds right down the hall from you, literally an email or a post away. Third up is what we do every year, right? Legislation. And as Mark Twain once said, no man's life, liberty, or happiness are safe when the legislature is in session. So right now, with this month, we've had the beginning of Maryland's 90-day legislative session. We've got a couple of key things playing offense and defense. Offense, finishing up the access to justice appeal bond reform for small businesses in Maryland. So we've got a $5 million cap for companies under 250 people. We'll be putting in, that got stripped out of last year's success. Second, due dates on tax returns. We're trying to sync up Maryland with the federal level. So look for that one to happen. We'll be watching for miscellaneous things as well. But on the defense side, we're going to be looking for the essentials like sales tax on services. 19 states have taken that up. We don't expect it in Maryland, but because of that other activity, it could happen. Second is comparative fault. That's a trial lawyer notion to get more access to lawsuits against companies and firms. We would be opposing that one should that show up. There's a couple other ones, like there was a one last year for nullifying NDAs and nullifying non-compete agreements. Many of our managing partners said that's a bad one. We're going to be watching that one. And then we're expecting mandatory sick leave. These aren't big CPA agendas, but we will be watching that with our friends at the Maryland Chamber and supporting their initiatives. Obviously, we'll be watching 2,500 other pieces of legislation rolling in through Maryland to make sure none of that has adverse implications on CPAs in Maryland. So hopefully you're joining us on January 21st. I might be asking you to write letters during the legislative session. And thank you very much for listening to this month's Lookout Post. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any exciting episodes or content from us. And don't miss the CPA conversations where we go in depth to some of the bigger issues facing CPAs in Maryland.